Let's take you back now to Klipspruit, where the body of 6-year-old Khayalethu Magadla has been found. eNCA's Govan Whittles is checking on, of course, developments and joins us live. Colleague, good to have you. And I mean, this is at the back of that briefing by EMS as well as the MMC of the city. What came out in terms of what it took to find young Khayalethu's body?
Thank you. Thank you, Timelo. Yeah, it's much clearer now what that operation entailed. And the people here, Joburg Emergency Services, the Department of Public and Safety, MMC David Tembe, as well as everyone else involved, Department of, or the Rand Water entity of the city of Johannesburg, have all collaborated to help find the body of young Khayalethu Magadla. Let's bring in the incident commander for this operation, Yolanda Msibi. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Let's just begin with the technicalities here. So we're quite a distance away from where he fell into the manhole. How did Khayalethu's body get to that point?
Okay. I remember on the first day when we received the call, it was after he had fell in. So there and there, as EMS and as an incident commander, we thought that because of the speed of the water from Dlamini, all the 20 manholes up to the splitter chamber, we noticed that the speed of the water there, it's very high, meaning there is a possibility that it has been pushed. And the splitter chamber, it was actually our first place where we wanted to look first. But because of the complex of the infrastructure and the water levels on the systems, we therefore decided to start from Dlamini so that we make sure that even if we can see that the velocity must have pushed him, because we were told on the following day, but we decided to start from here. We went back to Dlamini and we traveled all the 20 kilometers walking inside the manholes, and yes, the speed was too high. And
let's just get into that. So essentially you're saying that you thought it might have been there because of the intensity of the speed of the water, but why would the water then slow down at the splitter chamber, and why did you suspect his body was there?
Okay, when the water from all the feeders, it slows down when it gets to the splitter chamber. From the splitter chamber, there's 3 lines that go to the treatment plant. Now, those 3 lines, that was the place where the water was stagnant. It did not have a speed. The reason from Joburg Water that made us understand is that when the water goes to the treatment plant, it has to decrease its speed so that the treatment plant receives the water in a very slow speed.
And then, of course, you had the suspicion that his body may be there in that stagnant water. Why couldn't you look there first?
As I had said earlier on, the situation at the splitter chamber and the 3 main lines were very complex. It needed us, together with Joburg Water, to pump a lot of water out, which could have taken a lot of days to do that. And that's the reason, because we didn't want to just stand there and wait. We decided to check the manholes, the other manholes as well. So eventually, with the help of Joburg Water, indeed the water was pumped out, and yes.
Thank you so much. That's Yolanda Msibi. Just to paint a clearer picture, essentially they pumped the water out and put a backstop in, and that's when the teams from Joburg Emergency Services would then enter into that and start searching the line which leads to the water treatment plant. When she says that the three lines lead to the water treatment plant, it means that after here there would be no other places to look for young Khaya's body. So that is what raised that first suspicion. Let's go back to the MMC, David Tembe. He's joining us now. Mr. Tembe, 20-day operation. It seems it was prolonged by the need to pump out the water at the substation. What do you think of the way that the Joburg Emergency Services dealt with this?
Yeah, I'm very much proud of them. They did a very, very good job. It was traumatizing them because every now and then they'll have to go and report to the family about the progress and how they were looking at them. The family looked at Johannesburg EMS, and it was their last hope to have a closure. So I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of SAPS that was here, and I'm proud of the people who assisted them. And condolences to their family who have been with them and who are still going to be with them as the city to give them support.
Right. So you also explained that this operation also included taking into consideration the water supply to the people of Dlamini. How did those two things mix?
Yes, because when they closed the water, it affected the storage. Because when you close it, the manhole in the township, we have to to get the water to have to come out. So some of the community started complaining to us, but we were there, made sure that we are going to do.
What were they complaining about?
Yeah, because the water were coming out from the other manholes that are in the township. Because when you close it, there's no way that the water can be diverted to. You have to close it, and then they affected the manholes that are in the township.
All right. Mr. Tembe, you mentioned earlier that you brought the family here to positively identify the young boy's body. What happens now, and what kind of support can they expect from the city of Johannesburg?
Yeah, I think us as the city, it's our responsibility to ensure that we give them support, for an example, counseling, as the city that cares, and we're still going to ensure that whatever they need, we'll do our level best as the city to give them what it can help them to cope with the issues now. Remember, every now and then, as Africans, people will still go there to the family to give them support. So we'll be able to give them perhaps food, arrange for food. There's load shedding. We have put the generator there to ensure that they get the lights at night. And most of the things that they will need, transport, for an example, to deal with the issues just around in the inner city.
Finally, MMC, a lot of people are asking this question: who's to blame for what happened here?
No, I can't say who's to blame. For us, as public safety, it was an accident that happened. But then we'll have to work out that it mustn't happen again as the city.
You've closed that manhole where he fell in. It was done immediately after the accident occurred. Are there any other manholes in the city that you're identifying, or any audit that you're undertaking to see where that risk still exists?
Yes, that's a competency of MMC's son, who is in charge of Joburg Water. But we are working together, so I won't say it's for Mr. San to deal with it. Myself, I'm part of the government, so we'll ensure that we close those manholes. We are responsible as the government of the city.
Thank you so much. That's David Tembe. He's the MMC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg. Crossing to you here from the Klipspruit West Cemetery. Just over my left shoulder, you'll see the site where they found the body of young Khayalethu Magadla. Now that we know more details, we could give it to you in with a much clearer explanation. Just to the right of that fire station you see in picture is the split chamber. It's a structure that they've erected, and inside there is a concrete trap door which leads down to the 3 chambers that they were searching for the body. And after they had pumped the water out of the first chamber, they proceeded to go to the next one, and that's where they found the body of young Khayalethu Magadla. The EMS officials that undertook this mission say the water was about knee height when they went into it to look for the body, and the MMC says the body was immediately identifiable when they reached that chamber. From here, he says the family is very distraught, but the attention will shift to trying to provide them with some support and look towards finding some closure after they found the body of young Khayalethu Magadla. It's back to you for now.
Govan Whittles for giving us this update out in Klipspruit. And 2 important things: closure for the family who looked to EMS to assist them to finding their young boy, but also in ensuring, and this is from the city of Johannesburg's part, that this doesn't happen again. All manholes are of course closed and protected from young children from jumping inside. All right, well, still to come right here on Today on eNCA. We will be live to Makhanda, where our reporter Theodore Mashele will bring us an update from the National Arts Festival. Stick around, that update coming up next.